Welcome to Doing Our Bit. I'm Adrian Smale, and today I'm seeking to answer the question, is net zero a scam or a puzzle to solve? The idea behind net zero is, while seeking not to add any in the first place, what CO2 we do add is balanced by the amount we remove. I'm doing this video at the time of the horrific rainfall in Spain, where a year's worth of rain fell in just a few hours. But this is just one of many such events in 2024 alone, many of which you will not have seen on mainstream media. They highlight the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather due to climate change. It's a stark reminder of the urgent need for action to mitigate its impacts and curb emissions, given this is 1.3 degrees of warming and we are on track for 2.6 to 3.1 degrees by the end of this century. I highly recommend that you read Not the End of the World by Hannah Ritchie for some surprising data, but two comments I have received give some context to the issue. The excuses or justification to, in effect, not to give this the urgency the science is telling us is necessary can be summarised as follows. 1. We can't live without fossil fuels, so not possible to decarbonise. 2. The UK only emits 1% of global emissions, so no big deal. 3. Decarbonisation of energy is expensive. We've done okay up to now, so no additional urgency needed. Let's look at these in turn. 1. Given the reality that we have to transition, the important thing to remember is the problem is single-use burning of fossil fuels, not the other uses. Whereas there are use cases for burning the stuff which are challenging now, there are many where we have the solutions, and we have barely scratched the surface of removing their use. So the argument is false. 2. This ignores the historical emissions we are responsible for. More than 2 centuries ago, the United Kingdom became the first country in the world to industrialise. Since then, it has released more than 78 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, making us one of the biggest emitters in history. But this is not the only reason for the UK to transition away. 3. Every piece of progress historically, like the canals, railways, together with the fossil fuel processing and distribution networks, came at a significant cost in infrastructure. But it happened because it brought economic growth and prosperity. However, we now know the cost goes well beyond the infrastructure itself in damage to the ecosystem that supports us. This is the idea behind the carbon tax, to fully recognise this additional cost, but no country has dared to implement it because of the economic disruption involved and a lot of lobbying from fossil fuel companies and vested interests. A campaign of misinformation over decades to the public means that the seriousness of the climate crisis is not fully appreciated by all, and therefore the political will is not as strong as it should be. But the cost is not the only thing that should be considered. One, North Sea oil and gas licenses do not increase energy security. Fact, we buy it at a market price wherever it is produced. It's not our oil and gas. And any jobs created can just as easily be created by renewables. 2. Fossil fuels are very inefficient and wasteful. Check out these 2 videos, links below, to understand just how wasteful. And we will run out in approximately 50 years, even if we ignore the fact that burning it all would mean our extinction. 3. There is very significant health cost to pollution generated from burning fossil fuels, from lung disorders to cancers, etc. 4. Economies with access to cheap, reliable, renewable energy have a significant economic advantage over those using dirty, expensive fossil fuels. And studies have shown that whereas the investment is undeniably significant, the long-term benefits justify the investment. Greg Jackson, CEO of Octopus Energy, has repeated that the problem is not money, it's the way the current institutions and systems are set up in this country. So taken together with the science, there is no sane reason for not expanding renewables and the necessary upgrades to the grid, from not only an environmental standpoint, but also from an economic and health perspective too. No, we cannot do it tomorrow, and it is a challenge, yes, but it should be the top, very top political priority, given the chief responsibility of government is protection of its citizens. For global context, an Oxford University study shows that switching from fossil fuels to renewable energy could save the world as much as £10.2 trillion by 2050. The report also said it was wrong and pessimistic to claim that moving quickly towards cleaner energy sources was expensive. My personal journey to 100% electric illustrates this and has shown a number of key benefits which have a bearing on this too. One, I use less than half the energy to do the same work as I did before when I was using fossil fuels. Two, my energy cost is 62% less compared to when I was using those fuels. And three, the products are both better, cleaner, and significantly more flexible and efficient. So this has been a lifestyle upgrade. Here are practical things we can do as citizens. And it's worth noting that less than 5% of UK homes have solar. So there is plenty of headroom to reduce energy demand overall. So in conclusion, accepting the issue has been politicised, sadly. Net zero is not a scam, but a complex puzzle we must all solve together. Interested in your comments as always? What's your take on where we are? But hope this video spurs discussion and further investigation with the links below, as this obviously only scratches the surface of a massive topic from a layman's perspective. Hope you found this video interesting, and if so, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.